Test, 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 test. Testing, testing, testing. Hey, you will make it TV. Followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners, thank you for clicking on another live video. Coming on over, supporting us one more time. We mean that in a rhetorical way, but just giving us one more chance to record and give a new perception to real, raw, insightfulness topics from across the globe as well. I'm your very own Arthur podcaster, Miss Sherry Whitney. You can show your support by becoming a subscriber this morning, this Christmas season, or just start your new year off fresh. Uh, Adding a new channel to your category of places to tune in for insightful topics. Raffle tickets are still $1 while supplies last. Please email me, okay? We're sharing that information on the news feed. That's why we're encouraging you to subscribe. Max 3 tickets per entry, okay? But we all can find $1, maybe two, three to spare. What do you get out of it? Well, if your name is drawn on December 22nd, 2025 at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, you put yourself in a running to win a very absolutely free Christmas basket set. Okay, so we are happy to do this. I actually wish I could show even more. It's not about trying to be in competition of who can do the most for people, actually, to me. It's sometimes just a small token of your appreciation, though, uh, when it comes back to your supporters. Sadly, we live in a world where people, they're not going to feel truly appreciated unless you're paying them some money. I'm sorry, but the days we live in today, Christmas is about the only time you might get away with that. Just gifting somebody and them truly believing that you appreciate them. The rest of the year, they feel like if you ain't giving them no money, I don't know, how are you really showing that you appreciate them? But good morning, world. All week, really. I guess I just had a busy week. And I know next week will be busy, but it don't make it no better when the snow and blizzards start trickling in either. It won't stop my work though. Rain, sleet, snow. We still come here and record our streams just for the record, not just so I can sound like anything publicly. A lot of this stuff I talk about right here on YouTube, I talk about in my home too. Because I really feel the things, right? We just all have a different voice, a different experience, a different background. So I don't have to come on here and fake the funk for anybody. I was laughing the other day actually. I just bust out laughing. I was like, I'm not gonna even go there. I'm not gonna even go there. Cause really this with Diddy, I don't even think it's funny. And it's kind of triggering because like I see people laughing literally still. I don't think they're laughing at the victims or what the victims going through, but I'm almost convinced that laughing is a trauma response. They want to call everything else a trauma response. You catch a person doing drugs, it must be a trauma response. If they're addicted to anything, okay, well, obviously, laughter is contagious too. Because the first thing people think to do is just, I don't know, man. They sit here and crack a laugh. Like laughing is not also a trauma response that can tell you a whole lot. They probably like, man, we can't laugh around this lady without her investigating it. That's right. Cause certain things I always wonder, like, how is this or that funny? You know what I mean? Now, in my opinion, 50 Cent, he's just a goofball. Like we need that type of energy and spirits. Whether he was talking about P. Diddy or the next man, that's out of line. People laugh, like I said, in my opinion, out of trauma response. Nobody really, you know what's funny? I am proud of the newer generations doing more of a better job of speaking up, letting their feelings out, not holding it back. I don't think that we deserve accolades or anything for that, actually. I'm thinking that people should pay attention to the advancements, not just in technology, but in evolution, the evolution of the human being, too. You can only do stuff to people for so long. You know how many countries have revolted? They end up having to go to war just to get equality rights in certain areas of their lives, okay? From women to men. Rights were always fought for. I'm waiting on my microphone to charge here, so maybe the sound quality. Y'all excuse me if I sound raspy any day. I don't have my microphone on, my noise canceling uh headsets on, so you might hear it. But I thought I would come and give my reaction though this morning, while my own babies and everything are still asleep, right? I want to start. We will have more set times that we're going live, guys. Like, I might tell y'all come tune in at 8 a.m. every Wednesday. Right now, I go live when I want to. I'm gonna be honest with people. I go live when I can, you know? But I do miss having more of a set, you know what I'm saying, schedule surrounding my work. It hasn't been like that now, at least for 2 to 3 years, to be honest with people. So, I mean, there's different type of entrepreneurs. Some of us work on straight set work schedules. Some of us, we just ask God to be with us. You know what I'm saying? Bless my finances, God, because I might have to, how unexpectedly things come up in my life lately. I just never know when I'm gonna have to take off work, even as an entrepreneur. So uh it's okay. You know, this is You Will Make It TV. I like to be vulnerable over here because being vulnerable and responsible with the vulnerability actually is going to get you through doors that people that keep secrets, they'll never touch. Why do you think everybody's trying to be more honest these days? I just got through talking about that. I said, to me, the people in my generation and the generations under us, you can try those same abuses and same bull crap you've been doing to people for the past 50 years. I just don't think this is my prediction. I don't think the response is going to be very different. Even if you don't think they should have responded when you want to tell a child of today, a teen of today, a grown woman of today, you should have said this and that. Perfect example, Miss Cassie Ventura. When I watched that documentary, I couldn't believe that some of the jurors that were interviewed was saying that they felt like there was something off about Miss Cassie Ventura's testimony, talking about why would she wait till years later to talk about the abuse? All they can call it, all I'm gonna tell y'all the technical word from there. Technically, that's called victim shaming. Just creating reasons that the victim's story should not be valid. And even the jurors were doing that in that court thing. And this was on national television. You're not gonna tell me most of the world is standing up so women can have rights over their bodies, because the truths are really showing. They're really showing. And if she goes as far as Cassie Ventura did and say, look, well, it's been years later, but I'm still, how y'all know that lady wasn't suffering mentally or something? Whatever it was, she did wait years to try to speak up. What other women did you see do it though? Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Shout out to all the producers, everybody that was on the set, everybody that helped. It doesn't matter if it was 50 Cent that produced it or the next person. These documentaries were coming. That's why I said, why is Miss with all due respect, Miss Janice Combs, like, how are y'all exempt from somebody making your story uh, a docu-series? Like, what makes the Combs different? Anyways, they're going to attempt this. They're going to attempt, I guess, to sue Netflix. It's a lot to take in because I done touched on like 20 points already. How long have I been on here? 11 minutes. I done touched on at least 20 points, but it's like I keep jumping around what I'm trying to say. So hopefully I get it out within this next hour of my stream, right? Merry Christmas to you all out there, right? We've been carrying on all these years with the holidays, birthdays. Yeah, and women, what people are seeing, women were out here going through some things, still keeping a smile on their face. You don't know what they going through behind the scenes. And they don't, it ain't that they don't care. I'm so glad God is breaking down a lot of these stigmas and old time folklores. At least the women of the past were honest. They said, hey, baby, back then we just didn't speak on it. Some of them do talk about it. If you want to know what I mean when I say back then, let's say maybe in Janice Combs' day or before her time, it was uncommon for you to see a line around the corner at the police station of women saying, it was an evolution. It took time for women to even get courageous enough. We know it happens to men too. I don't want this segment to sound sexually biased because it's not. If you actually go check out the Diddy documentary, you don't even have to check that out. It's been plenty of stuff circulating, right? That proves that I guess he didn't have any specific preferences. Anybody could have got. But what I was paying attention to is how how much more dangerous the world has become, in my opinion, since the introduction, invention, whatever you want to call it, of video technology. Some might disagree with me and say, no, the world is safer with cameras here. Others might agree it's dangerous, like I just said. It's one of those things that we haven't fully found the answer about yet because, a lot of camera footage have saved lives. Door ring cameras, home cameras, workspace office cameras. What people are going into business these days? I talked about this on another stream a couple years ago. I tried to tell people camera companies are one of the richest. How do I say this? Do y'all know how much money they've made a year, even just in the past 10 years? Not no one camera company either, all of them. And then what did they do? These are scarier than guns, cameras. They're scarier than weapons, if you ask me. Because if they get in the wrong hands, we have so much more work to do. If they're going to keep advancing technology and just call the people vegetables, that's not what I think is going on. I just think some of these advancements shouldn't be in the hands of like sociopaths, psychopaths. I don't care. I don't know what to call them. Imagine being invited to somebody's party or home and they tell you, make yourself feel at home, and you really there doing it. But they got cameras put up. If you're gonna invite somebody to your home and you got cameras in your house, I just feel like it's proper to like. I guess you don't have to let people know, but a man like P Diddy, like, yeah, why can't all the people that come to the party know that you got cameras all over the mansion when they get there? You do know some celebrities are more reserved than others. Even though they celebrities, they don't be on the camera putting their personal life on the internet. I'm gonna keep saying it. Now there is some celebrities that still don't do that. Then you have others that want to show their kids every week right there on social media. More and more people do agree that's what it is. Like you was barely protecting the kids before camera technology came out, and people can't lie about that because now you have all these adults coming out like, oh yeah, like the Me Too movement. So that just proves, like, even before camera technology, uh, there was a lot of work needed to be done. I also want to mention, just when it comes to my reaction, I did a live what a week or two ago about two men that just got arrested because they had an exposed plot to they were planning to try to go start some new sex slave farm on in another country. But they were Americans. See, people's fantasies are very far-fetched today. And this is all in the same year that all this P. Diddy stuff went down. That's what happens when you can't blame this on one person, one industry, one business. What do you mean? Kids have been here since the beginning of time. What I see, that's why I'm keeping up with the timeline. Okay, so y'all introduce camera technology, then what? To expose what I'm trying to tell people, spiritual uh sexual abuse curses, I think they're real. They come from like slave plantations, generations and generations ago. Demons and souls of people that were traumatized and violated just so somebody else could keep power. You know what I mean? This is not new. I'm actually glad it's getting old to a lot of people. Like, it's just too many advancements in the world, too many other ways to get money. Uh, it's weird, because like camera companies are quiet. Nobody's shouting out Google Nest or none of these companies that offer camera products. If you do a lot of these pretty much, you're not going to go to a camera store and they ask your background. They're not going to run a credit check, nothing. At least when you go try to purchase a gun or something, they make you show credentials, depending on where you go. Because legally, that's how it's supposed to be done. But it's like we getting towards the point. The same thing, in my opinion, needs to go this way with cameras. You should be asking how old the person is, make them show proof of ID, run a background check on people. I'm just throwing some ideas out there because we got like generations of work to clean up. So they were trying to say that, well, Cassie made money and all them people made money, and now they want to sit on trial. I just say it's like a form of victim shaming when there's videos, even if she was enjoying herself making money. You feel me? What point did it get to? Obviously, it was more than that. Like, how much more footage do they have to expose? Y'all seen him beating that woman up by the elevators? And that's not fun to anybody. But these the type of jurors you have sitting in the jury stand. It's so stupid. To me, the jury of these type of cases should only be people that have been through it too. It's an idea. It's an idea. People who understand the traumas, the nightmares, the after effects, the PTSD. Stop putting jurors up there that ain't even never been through what sex trafficking victims go through, been through. They only seen gossip on the internet and they think they're professionals in the jurors stand. Like, what? And you got to consider her age. It's just other stuff you don't hear them saying. What was her age when she first got with this man? What were her vulnerabilities? And everybody want to come out talking about what they saw and what they suspected. It's just weird to me. It's not too weird because once again, when you that young, like 19, 18, where you feel like, it's really hard to tell 18, maybe 18 through 25-year-olds anything. It's already like that. They starting their new journeys. They have a whole fresh life ahead of them. So to my understanding from the documentary, Cassie was just trying to launch her career. Like, Look how they pointed out everybody that seemed to do business with this man end up literally dead or in jail. Because maybe that's a part of the curse too. Not just being used and abused, but then being whole isolated, whether it's these people that isolate you or the police. Like, why are y'all trying to make Cassie look like the villain here? Anything you're being manipulated, blackmailed, coerced into doing, how is that not still considered? Mm. But I couldn't believe those jurors sat there on camera. That one man, he was one of the jurors. He was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna stand. She was there making money, and then she wants to play the victim role." Like, so you do know everybody has to make money, though, right? How they're getting it has always mattered. How somebody else is treating them so they can get some money has always mattered. What somebody else is doing to them so they can get some money has always mattered. Now you want to bring up money? People been having to pay rent and have bills to pay. It ain't just about being a star and fame, because guess what? Without the stardom and famedom, you're still gonna have to make money. That's my point. But now they want to bring up money. Mm, mm, mm. I saw something I want to kind of speak on spiritually. Like, this was my experience watching the documentary. It's just like it literally seems like a big illusion being lifted. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about in real time. Suddenly, these people look like regular people. Everybody on the documentary. All they can say is, I used to drive for such and such. I used to be such and such bodyguard. I used to do this and that. But damn, during the time you were doing it, look how much people looked up to you. You didn't even have to be P. Diddy. You just on his staff. You just close to him. Well, you had a powerful connection, you know? Um, that's why if I ever end up working for somebody in the industry, I don't the first thing I see that looks off, I'm gonna have to go ahead and quit. I'm gonna have to go ahead and resign. But maybe it's not that simple, because y'all know when they work for these people, these are contracts. It's not like our 9 to 5 jobs where you put in a 2 week resignation and go find you another job. With these industry jobs, they go into these positions on contractual basis, right? Let's say you sign up to be Rihanna's hairstylist. You wouldn't just be hired. There's some kind of contract. Maybe you're agreeing to do that for the next 5 years. And after 5 years, you re-sign the contract again. They can't just quit their jobs. You seen I wouldn't say Princess Diana tried to quit, but it's like, I don't even mean to bring her story into this. I'm just starting to look at something here though. Like, soon as they try to get, if it was okay for her husband to have all these women and do what he wanted to do, but soon as Princess Diana, and she was a whole princess, we don't just mean in title, we mean in status and wealth. Like, she had already made it in the door as well on a contract. What is it about these people, these women specifically? They try to get a little plight of independence, freedom. I guess they didn't play that. I don't know, and I'm not excusing that. Like, really, that's a documentary I was keeping up with just as much as the P Diddy stories. Cause there are still people that care, like, that ask themselves, like, what really happened to Princess Diana? I guess it'll be a conspiracy forever. This ain't just going on in American soils. This is like a global problem. I know it sounds like I'm jumping everywhere. That's why I'm jumping about around the topics and stuff. But I really enjoy watching Orlando Brown interviews, and how people be like, he's crazy, he's talking out of his head. That man has lost his mind. He's on drugs. Ain't that what they say about all of them? And then this where they messed up. So after so many years, everybody turning to drugs and going crazy, eventually people were going to be able to see through that. They was going to ask like, why, if being famous and a celebrity and in a spotlight is so glamorous, why do these people keep ending up losing their minds and becoming drug addicts and losing everything close to them? I guess that's a part of the sacrifice. Like, oh, you got to cut everybody off to have this fame. You ain't gonna have your fame long. It's just strange. It's very strange. But my heart is there with Cassie Ventura because I don't know why they trying to use that against her. Like, bro, it's been known from the beginning of time since celebrities and stardom existed, even with men like Elvis Presley. Like, what do you mean? Promiscu what is how do I say the word promiscuous? I can't even get the word out. It's promiscuous, but I was trying to say it with the city at the end. But that type of behavior has always been all over Hollywood or the industry, and nobody said anything about it. I think we all agree with that. None of the fans can say too much either. Y'all the ones is putting money in these people's pocket. Everybody want to, yeah, we think he killed Biggie and Tupac. Okay, but nobody stopped listening to P. Diddy albums, artists, none of that back then. Even when Aaliyah died, nobody stopped listening to Beyonce or Jay-Z or anybody, I ain't gonna say too much more, but these are things we notice. They said if you keep entertaining a clown, it's gonna keep entertaining you. If you keep giving a clown attention, a dancing monkey attention, this is very true. Y'all hear me out about this. Like, we're not talking about the entertainer entertaining people. That's what an entertainer is supposed to do. But I'm talking about how you take away the power, the energy, the strength of whatever the performance is. If you don't even we're not saying ignore when people are in danger and stuff. I'm saying when a clown is in the middle of an act, it's gonna get bored if it just gotta stand there and juggle balls or blow up animal balloons and stuff, and nobody even pays the clown any attention. I don't know where this statement came from, but maybe the world needs to hear that. You what I'm saying is, you give things power the more you entertain it. But they call me the crazy one for ignoring as much as I can that comes my way that seems like BS. Uh, no, cause see, the more you feed into whatever a person is using to keep the entertainment going, that's you're giving it power. The whole show go down. One person just say, "Look, I'm not entertaining this no more," like Cassie Ventura did. You don't have to like Cassie. You can think she was a, uh, you can think anything you want about her, but do know this: there are women across the globe who have become a little more inspired. Like her coming out literally help other people who might have had stories surrounding their time of entertainment with P. Diddy. And, she inspired them to come out with their stories. How is she not an inspiration? You see, they did the same thing to her. They try to bring up all her sexual dirt. But he didn't know, sir, they say that's what you're known for doing. You make sure that you get footage of what people do so that you keep power over them. I was just saying, this the new generation and generations under us, how can we be scared of cameras? Some of these kids, camera phones, PS5s, all this stuff was already here. Within the past 20 years, like they was born into it. And you want them to fear cameras like the people did in the 80s and 70s and 90s. Mm-mm. Like last I checked, to record somebody without their consent. That's why I think it gets interesting, where they be trying to cover up Cassie's testimony a little bit. Like, if you're a grown woman, you can participate in as many sexual acts as you'd like to. Actually, it goes down to, did you have her consent to record her? Did you have her consent? Because most victims, they didn't give consent. People keep talking, well, she liked it. She was participating in the parties. And but let me tell you the part, because a grown person can do that if they want to. They can sleep with 10 people in one day if they want to. That's not what's illegal about it. What's illegal about it is, are you recording and sharing that content with people without her consent? That's why they mad at Cassie right now, even the jurors, because they know it's true. She have a right to, if she feel uncomfortable years later, like, no, wait a minute, because when you young, stuff not gonna register and click like it will when you get in your 30s and 40s, like the age she is now, right? Preparing to have, I think she done already had her baby, but you finna have your own child too? Man like him though, so like you see, he never married uh the twins mama. Well, they don't have no record just yet. I don't know anything for sure. But he was with that lady for a minute. They even had twins. She's, talk about a wife. You know what gets me? How they quick to talk about who ain't wifey material and all this today. All you can do is talk about that. You can't convince no man or woman that who they in love with ain't husband and wifey material. That's why everybody not gonna be for everybody. But okay, let's talk about the women that were wifey material. I mean, through every documentary so far, and uh, docu-series, anything like that that I've watched about Kim Porter, just about everybody she knew says she was what you would call a quote unquote good woman. You feel me? And not even she was like 100% what is it? Like innocent. Innocence is in the eyes of the beholder. They say that beauty is, but like God is showing me so much. Y'all have to excuse my words. I don't even be meaning to offend nobody, but in my opinion, innocence is in the eye of the beholder. You got to let the jurors say what they want to say. They hold seats and positions of esteem, but they're not God. Jurors aren't either. That's why sometimes maybe you do. Here lately, I've been thinking I need to be a lawyer. A part of what the lawyer does, the DA too, I see what they all do. But a part of what they do is like, without that lawyer there sometimes, you don't have the other set of eyes, the other set of perception to show you something. Because jurors could have it wrong too. Once again, innocence is in the eyes of the beholder. No juror, we're not even talking about things she might have chose to do while she was in the industry that had nothing to do with singing and dancing. I want her to know, as a woman, we ain't all out here judging you like that. Everybody want to play like they don't know if promiscuity is all over industries. And people with money, yeah, they're having sex. They're humans just like the rest of us. They have more than us, probably. Why not? They can afford beach fronts, luxury, anything. Maybe. But it has been proven. It's funny how research can help you. It's been proven that a person can survive their whole life without sex at all, especially if they're never introduced to it all. I can go on and on about this. And it's not to just defend women, it's to defend people's human rights. They got a whole act called the Human Rights Act, literally. So if you're never introduced or kind of like around it at all, you can make it through a whole successful livelihood and never have sex or have a baby or none of it. That's what we know. And God keeps giving the world fresh opportunities with like Of course, I can't control how everything go with everybody kid and everybody household. You see, not even me. Like, uh, but helping people to see that much, if they never introduced to it at all, we all how the world usually works. hmm At some point in life, you lose your virginity. But what I'm telling people is, you're not gonna die if you don't. You're gonna have an even 10 times greater life. Not being introduced to, it's natural to have feelings and want to partake in the activity or whatever, especially when you're really attracted to somebody. Let's be mature about it. That is so stupid, man. Okay, but if people never introduced to it at all, as we all know, sex ads are all in the radio, the commercials, the TVs. It can't be a ad about Clorox today without them putting some kind of something in the commercial on TV that's kind of like seductive. Like what? Let me give y'all some more creative. But we ain't ran out of creations. It's just do know if everything else is advancing, those have to advance too. Ads, promotions, marketing. What is it doing to people? Even on social media, are they more sexually driven? I mean, do we care? Is the question. I'm not all like anti-sex or nothing like that right now. What I'm saying is look at how if a person never knew that existed, kind of like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. If they never even was introduced to it, where would we all be? Because I guess God just showing people too, like just like any other addiction out here can be real. People be having addictions. That's not one that people like to own up to probably, but I mean you like what you like. We know that's not the crime. So I was just wondering if that's why they comfort Cassie with that part. You see what I'm saying? Like they'll try to pick at her like, she used to like what she do. We ain't talking about what a person like. We're talking about their consent, your consent to something and what you like. I mean, that's two different things to me. I like the color green. I like to go on walks and strolls. I like to paint my toes pink. But what I consent to always has to do with another person. What do you mean? I got to consent with myself. The only other person I don't know, like you do have to submit to authorities at certain times in life. And I'm not just talking like police, I mean like authoritative figures in the world. You might have to entertain them at least a time or two in life. What do you mean? There's always gonna be somebody a step ahead, a seat above, somebody stronger. We just don't talk about it every day, especially when it comes to women. The Bible describes women as the weaker vessel. Not well, really, it says wives are the weaker. But if you think about it, women in nature are naturally less they're weaker. I hate to use the word weak, but that's what it says in the Bible. And you can look up the word weak, W-E-A-K, in Latin, Hebrew, different languages. Then it gets more interesting. Like just learning more origins of certain words. But anyways, it's even scientifically proven. Some say they found evidence of both. They found evidence that women are strong because childbirth pretty much took the cake with that. Menstrual cycles, other things that women naturally go through. They didn't even ask for that. But if they're a woman and come with it, uh, just a lot of people probably don't know this, but just the breast milk filling up the woman's chest at that time and everything, On the outside, it could just look like, oh, that person got a bigger chest. You don't know what that person feeling. They a natural woman too. That breast milk gonna hurt. Some women it does when it's filling up, but don't worry, they have classes, all kind of stuff out here for us because of all of that, okay? Because it's just a natural part of being a woman. That's all I'm reminding people. I wouldn't mind reminding a jury, no matter what status you are. That is absolutely true. How are you going, even as a jury, if you haven't been through certain things that's heard in some of these courtrooms, you'll never fully understand. You just there in the courtroom, hearing everything. You been through that? They be thinking you being funny, wanting to ask people that sometimes. I don't want to know your life story unless you want to tell me. I'm the type of person I will listen. So how you gonna tell somebody they like what they were going through? That's just their person's opinion. He was giving his opinion on the little. It wasn't a podcast. It's a documentary. He's just giving his opinion on it. So now most times when you've gotten to a famous status, they might do a documentary at some point in your life. They was gonna do that with most celebrities. Like, you think they're not gonna have? They probably already do. But I'm trying to give an example. You think they're not gonna have a documentary one day? Like I said, they probably already do. Uh, Jim Carrey life. We're not just talking about his accomplishments, his honors. They do that, bro. Like, that comes with fame too. And we all can get tripped up and try to make that mistake. Like, oh, I want my obituary to look perfect. I want my documentary to be. No, they're gonna put everything. Like, what made what made them different? But anyways, I mean, what if they actually win the lawsuit? Who knows? But they just want to fight. Like, no, we don't want that up there. We want to. They want to, like. I guess they have a right to try to fight it. Cause what was I just talking about? That word consent, and people want consent to matter with some things in their life, but they playing with somebody else's consent. For real, it's showing you. Y'all want to tell them, no, don't put this on Netflix. Okay, so the people that's talking on the documentary that chose to like be a part of it, you can't tell them they can't do that. What did y'all? I mean, they're talking about their life, their experience. You throw a party, you think people ain't gonna? His parties as big as we heard he threw. Yeah, they're gonna talk about. They've probably been talking about them parties. Cause when you go to a party, you might talk about it for a little while. Like, that's the point. Now you want to be mad. Let them people. Well, they wasn't just party goers. Some of them was just pretty much around, down and around. That's I respect it, but because anybody can look back on a year, on a life 20 years later, and just be like, "What the?" Y'all know what I mean? Uh, you should have more consideration for your staff, employees, any company or business, in my opinion. Like, but yeah, we know nobody's asking you to be perfect, but bro, people just saying they're not getting paid. Everybody got the same story. They wouldn't get, they wouldn't get like, come on, bro. Okay, this how you find out if they lying? Like, what? That's why they be like, follow the money. What else they be saying? Like, come on, bro. How you doing all this work on stage, on tours, and all this different stuff? Any job you could be doing for a celebrity, you might have to be around them, work a certain schedule, see them 2 days a week, depending on what you do for them. They got hairstylists, they have makeup artists, they have barbers, they have doctors. So just because their lives are more convenient doesn't mean somebody's not helping them, to keep all it on track too. So why am I bringing it up? Yeah, you should be considerate of the people that are. I don't care what year or time in history it is. Be considerate of the people that's helping to assist you and make your label what they contribute. Like, the docu-series talks about Biggie Smalls a little bit because that was one of his artists. It's the same thing today. How much more lifespan did you guys see in rap and hip hop? Just because, these patterns are here. Like, they should be doing music. Like, what kind of contracts is these people doing? I don't mean to laugh, but what? The point is for you to come in there and work like Elvis Presley did. And I know Elvis Presley, they had rumors about him too. But he was a hard-working man. Some people even say they feel like him working too much probably end up just like tiring out his body because he can't do that. If anything, Elvis Presley showed people if you want to work, can't nobody stop you. Period. And it's probably sad to some people that he's not here. It's sad to most of the world. He's not the only one, but he was a good example of when you talk about physically working, that's the point of should be the music. Music focus, y'all sign these contracts. What? Okay, so you got the people working, or today, what? You just go get a lookalike, they work for you. What you got to do? There's so many options out here. But I don't think a person would pay a lookalike to like literally think about it. If you hired a lookalike, because I can understand it, you don't want to ride 50 planes a day going back and forth to all the meetings. Robots and stuff are coming soon anyway. They already out here. That was what I wanted to bring up too with my reaction. Like a lot of people are going to be invested in those. They're like humanoid robots already. And I just want to give my opinion because I've heard like men get their opinion. They're like, fine, we'll have robot ladies and we'll just have happier lives with these robot dolls and stuff. And you know what? That's not a bad invention. They need to have those, because human people, they have rights. Period. That's all I wanted to say. It needs to be said. People need to hear this. Um, what I don't agree with is they're making like I'm like, why do y'all need to make those? Have y'all seen the movie Megan? Stuff like that. Like they got kid ones too. I don't agree with that. But I can see how deep it is too. Like it's a doll, it's a robot doll. Some say, oh, that's healthier because they'll be able to just use those and leave people alone, leave people kids alone. Like, no, that might be helping their addiction. You telling them, oh, well, it's okay because it's a Barbie doll robot. It's a Barbie doll robot that looks like, so it's okay. You're not hurting anybody. Like a toy, they call it. But I just feel like, wow, that's weird, bro. If you got to go that far because people can't self control, you might as well call that an addiction too. Sex. The the people that have shown, and they have a right to, they've shown their right in saying they think robot women and stuff like this will be better. I said, then what? They don't have robot babies so they can have the perfect kids. Just replace their whole family with robot drone clones or something, you know. Well, to me, that just takes a little bit out of the living, the actual breathing in oxygen experience of life. Having a robot do every single thing for me. I still do things, but it is that deep today. I mean, technology is so advanced, it can do everything for you. They got a vacuum that vacuums the floor. It go around the floor by itself. They've been started putting those on the market. Oh, it can do tile floors, any yeah, carpets, bathroom floors. You know, it's going. I need to get me. I need one for Christmas. That's what I'm saying. It's not good to like. I try to still be human. Like I can vacuum my floor. Why I'm about one of those? Ain't nothing wrong with it, but it's like I need a robot to do everything. Cause in a minute they gonna have it, and I think I would still choose to like. They gonna be like, "Why you walking to the Sherry? You got a flying car." I'm gonna be like, "You know me. I walk sometimes. I might be like that when I'm older. By the time of the future though, I do feel like flying cars and stuff like that to be here. We don't talk about it enough. But this channel we can. You will make it TV. How you gonna tell people that? You got to tell them the truth. Like that doesn't mean you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Look at the world around you. Every generation was different. The 70s, the 60s, down to the fashion. As long as you as long as you can kind of see it from that perception too, it might help. Because the times of today are what they are too. If I have a flying car, that is crazy. I still want to go on like jogs and walk sometimes, even with a flying car, bro. They might have flying car DoorDash and Uber Eats. Forget driving it to your house. They can fly it over there. They might have drones to do it. I mean, just why are we going into so much non-human contact? I think that's what it is. The more stuff you put in people's hands that they don't need another human, that's saying something too. Because people do seem to more prefer, like, yeah, I use hire an assistant. Why? I got AI assistant. Like, uh, anything I need. What? You tell your phone, hey, go to Google Calendar and save this, depending on the type of phone, software you got. And it is real. Like AI assistants, AI bots, all that is already out here. I'd rather be just a little more aware. Now, sometimes I do sprinkle my own like predictions on stuff. That ain't never got to confuse nobody. But I see the same thing everybody else see. Like we all in this generation right here together. All of us that's left right now, and the new ones that's coming, and the new ones that ain't been here long. You're not gonna give me so much technology. I forget about the blessing of actually living life. Like if why are we being born as robots? Everybody ain't trying to do that. Did I consent that? I'm probably gonna ask those questions. If I find out one day it's like some Frankenstein stuff going on, like, oh, I wasn't born, I was created. I still would choose to be more human. Like, bro, you're not gonna convert me to just like straight technology to replace humans around me. That's crazy. Maybe it is an experiment. Like, how does it affect a person? I mean, you could live a good life because like technology help you do a lot today. What did I just say about that robot that vacuumed the floor by itself? I'm trying to think of others. It's a lot of stuff. People got clap on, clap off lights today. They lights turn on. Actually, it's voice activated. The clap on lights is from the 80s and 90s. Now you can walk in the door. Living room lights turn on. I did ask myself, am I going towards that direction too with the future? I see myself like using technology, being very savvy, but I understand it in a way like it ain't going. That's a personal choice. It ain't finna replace everything. You know what I'm saying? Your kids are actually your kids. That's crazy. No matter how many more iPhones y'all come out with, Apple TV apps, uh, HD 5K TVs, it doesn't matter. If you're not careful, that stuff is like slowly replacing your regular human life. Y'all probably like, what does this have to do with P. Diddy and all that? I just had to throw that in there. I told you my predictions versus what I see that everybody else see too, you know. But uh, I don't know if P. Diddy and them was more. because you got to be careful with it. You let technology take over your life. Don't blame this on other stuff. It's like weird, bro. Like you have to still live your human life, even if you become a millionaire tomorrow. You're gonna let technology, you're gonna invest all that money into technology. I wouldn't say it's a bad investment, but what are you doing? Like, how are you doing it? We all know that matters. Cause like that's like joke on you type stuff if you don't understand that about technology. That's a computer will never be a human. Or did they not tell us something? You feel me? Like the whole breakdown of the cell of the computers, the brain of the computers and everything. Y'all got the ideas from the human brains, didn't you? Which one was it? Which one was here first, the technology or us? Which one is older? Some, conspiracies say that technology is actually, you'd be surprised. They say technology is way more ancient than what people think. But I'm not here to take the topic that far deep. What? Yeah, they find evidence. They find hieroglyphics and stone writings. They've been found ancient stuff that said, hey, wait a minute. These people had some formulas that, how did they build the pyramids? Like, what? Okay, so it's up to you to believe it does matter. Just think about it sometime if you have never done it. Uh, which one is more ancient, the history of mankind or technology? It don't matter to people. Yeah, it's really, really crazy. And it's so crazy. Like, there's no way, like, you special if you receive fame and you don't even use technology as much as like most people do. Some might say I have a lot of usage, but we've talked about this on other insightful topic streams how, yes, the usage matters, but the timing matters too. You see how they'll call it usage? Usage is not a time measurement, is it? They use that word usage as well with electricity bills, if you notice. Like only certain things they use the term usage a lot to help calculate like what you owe or something. It could be for anything, you know what I mean? But they break the metrics down into usage data. But I'm like, okay, well, let's zoom in on this usage data. What are the times? I'm the type of person I might use let's say you use your MacBook for an hour. That's proof of usage that day, but how long did I use it? 10 minutes, 5 minutes? I kind of like metrics and data. Now that I understand, you see what I'm saying? Like statistics and why numbers and breakdowns and accountants and people like that, uh, why what they do is important. You haven't made it to another level yet when you're like, oh, I just need to get the money. Like, no, you should be able to break it all the way down. You should be able to break it all the way down. Like, why you just want to get the money? You don't want to know how much each usage is, even if it's 3 cents per kilowatt usage. You don't want to look at that type of data on your bill because you might be, y'all know how it goes. Like, and it's the same thing with technology and internet, but there's some things that'll tell you, like, yeah, this how much usage you use, data, or like, okay, we get what you're saying about usage. That's a verb. What is the time frame I was on it? What time, what day, and how long? Usage, okay, that's a fact. But how long did the person, quote unquote, usage that day of whatever device it is or was? Then you get to like, well, what was you doing during this usage period? I might have been on YouTube. I might have been on Spotify. I might have been on Amazon Kindle. Not Prime Kindle. That's where the books and audiobooks and everything is. Like usage, ask me what day, what time. Not just, oh yeah, I know how much usage hours you use with something. Like, okay, yeah, I saw you work out 2 hours a day. Okay, it's 24 hours in a day though, right? That's why I would want to know, like, now when you say usage, that has to do with timing too. It's more numbers than that. They be thinking they doing something, breaking down the analytics of usage. It's more for the customer, but it's for them too, like so they can collect the proper funds when you are investing in certain technology products. But that's something for you guys to deliberate, maybe chew on this weekend. Ask yourselves that which one is more ancient, technology or mankind? Okay? I might have my own answer to myself that I'll conclude. That would mean technology is like something else. If it's been here long, if it's been here longer, but that's another topic. Cause look, it might not just be. I don't think technology is bad, but certain parts of it, like the videos and cameras, for some reason, like maybe mankind has shown, yeah, you don't need it. Everybody don't. We need a whole new clearance set of requirements going into the how we gonna make it to higher advancements and people trying to screw up the ones right now. That's what I've noticed. If it's any kind of experiment, come on, man. It showed you. We need a better way. We need a better way. Now, when people sign up for social media accounts, it should ask a series of different questions, not just the ones that they do. Your birthday. Anybody can lie about their birthday, their name. They make fake profiles every day. That's what remind us of the human experience too. Like you can be like, no, I know this person wouldn't say that or do that. It'd make you think you tripping. Like, cause I be trying to tell people you can hear other people's voice through people if you listen. Yes, it's them talking, but like the choice or frame of words can tell you, like, I promise, like even with a baby, you can tell they practice talking to the baby or how they talk to the baby, depending on what the baby learns and start saying. But it goes a long way. You know that Cassie was using her own voice. That's what it sounded like. Because a lot of people don't do that. They will take your voice. What do I mean? When they not around you, they talking just like you. But people don't have to do that. You can almost become a natural mimic if you want to, or you can be yourself. We're just showing people you have options. Don't just look at somebody else's options. Everybody has options. If you don't, you're like Cassie sitting up there, and we want to know why. Because who trying to take your options away from you? Not just because she's a woman. There be stories of like trans and their boyfriends getting in fights, or one of them. It's just crazy. And they be like two men or two women. It was a story too about two women. They was a couple, and then they find their girl body. Like I remember that story. It was something crazy. Like they found her girlfriend body like in a trunk or something. I remember that story on the news. Like, and everybody was shocked at the time. Of course, it was horrible, but it was like y'all was a different type of couple, bro. Like you were like a lesbian couple. Like violence can happen any sex, anytime. That's what I'm trying to remind people of too. And the jury should have understood that with what Cassie was saying, but apparently this is like just the beginning or something. Like it's supposed to have more victims and people with pending, uh, maybe like pending lawsuits and stuff like that. It's just if I saw right what they were saying on their documentary, it's I think it's at least well over 50 different people, like not even just people, like maybe different cases or something, like potential lawsuit settlements. It's just like, yeah, it's just showing people like you can be put in that position. Like you can't just go around violating people human rights every day, bro. It don't matter who you are, like how powerful you get. What does that have to do with moral codes, ethics, plus technology? Yeah, we're gonna use that as a part of our argument. That's a whole part of society today. We need a whole new set of clearance rules for people to even use this, what they have shown us. Because, like I said, the one that might be more ancient and in control might be the technology. I don't. That's what the movie I Robot about. What if they grow their own intelligence? Like that's the thing. Everything evolves, and people think it's funny to imagine robots turning on the human race for some reason, but that shows you like why do people think that? Maybe the technology is more ancient than humans are. And they think because it's in their hand and it's a tool, they control it. It's crazy, bro. Like, but it's an idea. It's an idea. Uh, I was just saying, they do documentaries about it, everybody life, bro. Once you reach a certain status, they got a documentary. They keep doing updating ones though. I think they're gonna do documentaries on Tupac life. They was gonna do that. The very last recent one, they did a whole Hollywood movie called All Eyes on Me. That wasn't that long ago. You see, uh, everybody's life after they get a certain status like that, bro. Eventually, they're gonna do a documentary, but they'll do like repeat ones. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Or you just have different producers. Everybody had their own version, like a different screen perception, right, into the documentaries. Like that's just one. Like why it do look suspicious. Like why would you run over there? Why would y'all run over there and try to like sue Netflix over the first, bro? Like it might be other people that do documentaries about it. Maybe that's not simple for people like him to understand though, because uh nobody just like dies, bro, on that status and not even that's the parts of the documentary that make the documentary the money, bro. Nobody just want to watch somebody's life story that was peaches and flowers from the beginning to the end. That's more like a cartoon. A documentary is like your life. The sweat, the blood, the tears. Because there's, as we learn, sweat, blood, and tears, even when they change their life. But why? They changed their life, they had his success, they had his money, but it's still so much blood, sweat, and tears around you. Like, why would that be like that? You gotta feel the so obviously they know too. Like the human experience is more than just the human experience. I'm probably just a little ahead of my time, but I would say no matter how much technology advances, I want to still stay like human where I can be. Like right now, I'm still working on staying off my device sometimes. Like just because you can be on it as much as you want to. You pay the bill, you pay for the data, you pay for the Wi-Fi. And some people they feel like, I want every usage out of my dollar, right? Just like people do with other things. I want every value. Everybody shop different. Some shop for the cheapest, and they do it on purpose, like the best deal. I didn't mean to say cheapest, but some shop for the quality, the value. Like uh, they don't want to just get a dollar roll of paper towels that's gonna last them 2 days. They want to pay for the $7 pack that comes with 12 paper towel rolls, so they have paper towels for the whole month. Yeah. Some people shop for the value. Some people shop for the convenience. That's how I should have said it. I shouldn't have said cheap. Like It's gonna be like that for Christmas. Like some, their minds are made up. They're definitely shopping for the value, the quality. They don't care how much it costs, right? But some, they're gonna be more shopping from a place of convenience. Like, and thank God there's places out here and they get their business and we're supposed to get our services. But you can still live a very horrific or happy life. I don't know how to say it. Just yeah. They like who's just living this basic human life still with all these advancements in the world. Some of us. We don't have to let that consume us just because it's out here. Now you're trying to force people to be consumers of every single technology product you have. Uh, what's crazy is you can, even a homeless person, most homeless people have a phone, a cell phone. That's how convenient those are. And even then, that person don't have to stay glued to that. What are the long term effects on their eyes, on their vision? Are they having headaches? They talking about, yeah, people getting karma, they having headaches. Bro, you do know watching TV screens, being on computer screens, phone screens, eye doctors will tell you it's a strain on your eyes. You can go Google it. The screen time rules, a budget of screen time, should not just be for toddlers and kids. There's some adults that have to learn that too. Like, we understand if you do that for work, you might be type a lot or be on the computer screen a lot. Because I mentioned typing because that actually is a strain on your wrists to some people after so long. It depends on what you got going on your joints, because you're using a lot of finger work on a computer, 8 to 10 hours a day. But yeah, you got to go out, get up. You be like, you got an easy job. You sit in a rolling chair. Like, no, if you don't get up and stretch and go on a walk or something from time to time, everybody that do that type of work, no, you're gonna have wrist and joint problems, back. You just have to probably soak in some hot water. It's things to combat it, of course. But when you just talking about straight up screen time, though, it does. Ain't nothing changed. We never asked what it costs for us to receive advanced technology, did we? We never asked what it costs. We just see the stuff come out and we like, ooh, that's cool. That's an advancement. I'm finna go, I want that. Because you know how people are. They want the latest, like, or they going to ask themselves why you got it and they don't. It's dumb. That's what turns psychopaths, obsessive people that are addicted to money like that. I don't know what's worse, being addicted to that or the technology. But it does help people apparently make a lot of money. That's the thing too. We just never ask what it costs. What is it really costing us as a society to have all these revolving events and technologies spinning around the human experience? They saw too, probably over the years, people have pretty much been the same. Nothing changed, but the advancements. Like humans are doing the same thing they was doing in the 70s. They was doing in the 60s. Think about it. They was doing in the 30s. They was doing in the 1800s. They doing the same things. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Y'all think technology probably we all been bamboozled. Technology probably older than mankind, older than the elements. But what did it cost us as the human experience race? Uh, a lot. Blood, sweat, and tears. Cause like, what long term effects are people having later? They had a cell phone for 20 years. We the first, I ain't gonna say generation, but everybody on the earth right now that's been here since cell phones came out all over the world lately. You actually are a part of something bigger than you think. What you mean? We the first? We was the civilization that's here right now, and we seeing like what it's doing to people, how it's changing the world, and in positive and negative ways. I'm not being biased. Um, you're a part of something bigger. Don't let nobody tell you you're insignificant. If you have experience with using any type of technological device these days, you're a part of something bigger. These days, it's even better. It's not just nostalgia, but it's better if you can go back and even think about like how far technology has come. Like you actually watch the advancements, but like I said, even if when they get flying cars and I can afford to have one of them, they'll never have flying yachts because the point of a yacht, a boat, a ship, a cruise is to be on the water. But they might have some kind of water advancement soon. Who knows? They already got submarines and different things that can go under the water. Oh no, where? Oh, okay, I got them on. I was like, ah. But yeah, if I have a flying car, I can have 10 flying cars. It's just still gonna be some days I want to walk. It would have to be like absolutely dangerous on the surface or something for me, which I don't think it would be. Flying cars don't mean it won't still be houses and retailers on the ground, but if you haven't, a good movie recommendation for this Christmas season from You Will Make It TV, now is a good time to watch. What's that movie called? Uh, Total Recall. The Fifth Element too. I'm telling you, through every civilization period known to mankind, pretty much humans are doing the same thing. They it just keeps the time keeps changing. That's it. I ain't trying to sound and freak people out here, but it's like if you think about it, it's true. The times are changing, the people aren't. You can slap new faces, new names. That's how I look at it. I wouldn't call it numb because it's not okay. How do you? It's like they were able to make tools and advance that. The actual people evolving? Nope. That's why the Bible say ain't the scripture says ain't nothing new under the sun. That's interesting. Cause like over time people do the same stuff. But I just had to give I'll probably do a part two to this because I see I'm going almost in 2 hours. Y'all have a beautiful weekend. Stay safe out there, stay warm. Make you a cup of coffee, a cup of warm tea, or hot chocolate. Put lots of marshmallows in it. Don't forget that you can request a raffle ticket at Boos, Boos, Custom, Custom, Baskets 11 at gmail.com. I will leave the information in, not in the chat, but in the comment section when I post this live stream today. Uh, that's where you can, and serious inquiries only, please. That's where you can learn more information about where you can purchase your dollar raffle ticket. So, because we're drawing names December 22nd. Justjackets at gmail.com if you're interested in donating a coat, jacket, sweater for the. It is getting closer to Christmas. It's not just about Christmas though. We're going to be running this draw all the way through February 27th of 2026 because like these are whole periods and times of the year where we want to help keep people warm, and it won't just be coming from You Will Make It TV. It'll be coming from others. That's what makes it great about it. Who care about the less fortunate and needy too. You'll be surprised what paying forward $10 for somebody you absolutely don't know could help them. That's what I'm saying. The other part, another announcement before I close out my stream. If you're interested, that same email, you're going to use it. I'm accepting pre-orders on gift basket sets, custom gift basket sets, because not everybody is savvy with like putting together gift basket sets. We know anybody can do it, but some of us love to do it. And you can email us at bootscustombaskets11@gmail.com to place those orders as well. Merch, uh, the t-shirts and hats, you can email us at that same email or texasherryw@gmail.com. We have a lot of information flowing through here. So they're insightfulness topics anyway. We hope people are getting pens and recording and listening. Because I do give out other information too sometimes. So the Christmas raffle, we will be picking a winner uh December 22nd, 2025. Submit your own original inspirational quotes. That's something that we're starting going into the new year. We're going to shout out your own inspirational quotes from all over the world right here on the You Will Make It TV channel. And we're going to be starting that in the new year. So stay tuned. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe bell. We want you to send your name, your username. I'm sorry, y'all. Username, state, and the quote must be original. What does original mean? If you send us a quote that you say is original, but we can type it in Chat GPT or Google and it's somebody else's quote, we won't be able to use it, okay? It has to be 100% original. And we're not asking for nobody real names unless you want to submit them. The thing is, it's going to be promoted, right? Maybe this is just more for people into authorship, writing, poetry, stuff like this. It might not be for everybody. Uh, but if you do, if one comes to your heart, you are led to send it to us. We're going to be sharing those weekly. You're going to send your username, the state you're sending your quote from, and one original inspirational quote. Okay. Thank you guys. If you know somebody who might be interested in it too, I'm going to share the details in the chat. Thank you guys for your support, and until next time.